Morning, guys. Feels good out here this morning. I think it's 79 degrees at the moment. It's still bright and early. Sun's still trying to come up, and the yard's looking good out here. I ain't gonna try to pat myself on the shoulder, but did a good job yesterday. I did a lot of mowing and weed eating. Got my whole yard done. I came back in, cleaned up around the garden area. I still need to pull some of the weeds out of my garden bed, but I did a lot of weed eating. At the end of my driveway, there was some rock and stuff that we brought in from Mom and Dad's pool a while back that I have a plan for it later on. It's just I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I put it over there. And unfortunately, the last 2 times I mowed, I didn't weed eat around it, so the grass got a little out of hand over there. So I got all that stuff taken care of now. My chicken coop area, the pen, is officially weed eated down as well, so it does look nice and good out here. The way I like to see it, it's not the biggest property in the world, but it still takes me quite a bit of time to do it. Right around an acre, and when you're doing it by yourself, it still takes a bit. So it takes about 2.5 hours or so to mow and weed eat this whole yard, and when it's super hot outside, it definitely takes a toll on you, and I can feel it. So that's what I did yesterday on my day off from YouTube. And then I mowed Mom and Dad's front yard and side yard and weed eated all that as well. So I said I was going to relax today. I need to make a habit of picking a day where I just do absolutely nothing and just make it a set day out of the week where I know that's my day to just relax. So I need to start doing that possibly on Sundays. But today I'm going to go ahead and try to get some stuff done, put out a video maybe tomorrow on the main channel. I was driving up the driveway this morning and opened up the gate, and I looked over at the pond, it's a foot or so lower than what it's supposed to be. So I need to run some water out there and fill that thing up. But I looked in the water and there were a ton of goldfish in there. I was actually quite surprised. I have a couple of clips on my phone. I'm not going to show you guys because I don't want to have to edit this video, but I was going to show Mom and Dad because I was just talking about it yesterday to them. And when I initially bought them from PetSmart or whatever, and they were about 1 inch long. Now they're, I don't know, some of them are 3 inches, some maybe 4 inches, and it was quite the surprise, a pleasant surprise. And yesterday when I was mowing, typically I would mow and blow stuff away from the pond. This time I just was doing it real quick and blew a lot of the grass into the pond, and I don't know if that's what they're coming up to the surface and trying to nibble on or whatever they're doing, but they were all up at the top of the surface. And I just looked, I was like, oh, there's a goldfish. And I was like, oh, there's another one, another one, another one. It ended up being about 15 of them, and which makes sense. I figured if I put about 30 of them in there initially that I knew some of them wouldn't make it, and a lot more made it than what I actually thought would. And I'm not sure about the catfish that I put in. I wish I would have spent more time fishing in Mom and Dad's pond before it dried up and caught more catfish, but I was able to get about a half dozen of them and put them in there. So didn't see them this morning, but I'm sure they're still alive in there. And I don't know, it's just kind of cool to see the goldfish for the first time. I spent, hell, I don't know, they weren't too expensive. I think it was like 20 bucks or so for 30 of them, whatever it was. And it is nice to be able to actually see them out here. So I thought about trying to get some kind of fish feed and just sprinkle it out there, and maybe they'll get used to getting fed and come up to the top and stuff. So I got those, you hear the ducks in the background. I love it out here. I love seeing all the ducks and stuff fly off. I don't like my view in the front yard too much where the gas station is, but that's why I planted all my fruit trees and stuff along there. Eventually they're gonna get big enough to block that off, and the rest of the yard out to the back, the south side, that's the view that I like, looking out the living room window, seeing the pond. It's just gonna be a game changer once we actually get water out there. But there are a lot of those ducks, and they're quite noisy this morning, so that's probably what you can hear in the background. When I was weed eating out here yesterday in the chicken pen area, a vehicle had pulled up, and it kind of threw me off guard because it was a gold vehicle, and I thought it was Matt's Trailblazer. And I saw somebody get out, had a bright yellow shirt on, and I was just thinking, I was like, Matt doesn't have a bright yellow shirt. It was my cousin Seth. He showed up and said hi and was just checking everything out, and we went back to Mom and Dad's and hung out for a little while. And I hadn't seen him, I guess, since I moved back down here. I've seen him a couple of times now, but before that it was probably a 20-year gap. And I was trying to think when's the last time I've seen my other cousins, and it's probably been at least 20 years. And I don't know, we're not one of those families that do like the big family reunions and hang out all the time. Everybody kind of does their own thing, and every once in a while you'll see them drive by, you'll wave, or they'll stop by and say hi and stuff. And I saw his dad as well, my dad's brother, Vern. see him pretty often driving around, and he'll swing by and say hi. And I don't know, it's always good to see your relatives and hang out with them for a bit and catch up. And that's so cool looking. I wish I would spin you guys around, but by the time I spin you around, those ducks would be gone. They were flying like in a V shape. Kind of made me think of the Mighty Ducks, the movie. But yeah, see back here behind me, this grapevine is just thriving out here. I was trying to think of a good idea to be able to expand on here. I was thinking about maybe doing a cattle panel and just doing a big hoop on this one as well, and just let these grapes just keep growing and thriving out here, or at least the vines for now. We'll get grapes next year, and try to figure out some stuff. And I think I have a good idea of where I want to build a small greenhouse. When I say small, probably an 8x10, nothing too big, just enough to be able to get in. And realistically down here, it'd probably be used more to protect the plants from the sun than the cold weather. It does get cold down here every once in a while, but not like you guys up there in the north where you guys are freezing y'all's asses off. Down here, when we say it's cold, we're probably hitting 30 degrees for the most part, and then every once in a while it'll dip down into the teens. I can't remember the last time it snowed down here. I know I was up in Dallas, I believe, when it snowed down here. They had, I think, 2 or 3 days solid of, I think, 16-degree weather, and that's about as cold as it gets down here. So if I build a greenhouse, it's, you know, like I said, protect it from the sun and all the heat and stuff, because my garden is looking pathetic, and that's on me. I didn't water it recently, and it just is what it is. I'm sure if I just soak everything, a lot of stuff will come back and make its way. See a woodpecker over here. When we were little, so when we built the upstairs, the woodpeckers were always going and pecking on the side of the house, putting big holes in it. And of course, being a homeowner, Dad was always mad about it and said, "Hey, I'll give you all $1 for every woodpecker you'll shoot." So we'd go around, and Jason and I would go pow, 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 shoot them and bring up, "All right, we got $1 right here, Dad." And that's just what that reminded me of right there, that woodpecker over here. So I guarantee you, if they come over here and start pecking on my house, they ain't gonna be pecking for much longer. And you can take that to the bank. I don't even care if there's animal rights activists saying you don't need to shoot the woodpeckers. No, it's on my house. If it's eating that shit or pecking at it, you're gonna be gone. So anyways, that's what's been going on around here. Another rambling video of nonsense, but hey, that's what everybody's YouTube is, just a bunch of nonsense film themselves, and people seem to watch. So anyways, that's what's gonna happen today. I'm waiting just a little bit longer before I start working on the house. I don't want to annoy the neighbors out here hammering. It's not 8 o'clock yet, and I guess technically there's not a set time that I need to wait, but I'm gonna try to wait till at least 8 before I start working on it. So got those plates to put in, about 30 of them, 30 of the brackets up in the rafters. So it should be a little bit cooler right now. That's why I'm trying to be out here before that sun definitely comes up. You can see it starting to rise over here. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I'm tired of talking. It's too early for me to try to think of stuff to say. And yeah, so anyways, appreciate you guys watching again. I'm gonna get busy. Hope you guys enjoy the next video, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace. Bye, guys.